Good super early in the morning, everybody. What is going on? I am jeffgrantMEDIA, and today's real user review, we're going to be taking a look at the Level 8 Jungle Urban Camo backpack. Now, it's about 4:15 in the morning, so we got to keep the volume and energy level down just a little bit because everyone else is upstairs asleep, and I want to keep them that way for a couple more hours. So, to begin, I am not being paid to say anything positive or negative about this bag. Yes, Level 8 has sent me the bag for free for my review. I have an ongoing relationship with the company, but I have not been paid at all to say anything about any of their products. They simply send them to me for my reviews and my thoughts to let you know if this is worth your money. So we're going to start with a quick spec rundown of the bag, and then we're going to get into the negatives, neutral points, and positives, and then my final conclusion of the bag. So let's go ahead and get started. The Level 8 Jungle Urban Camo bag comes in at 20 liters. It does have a suspended laptop sleeve. There is interior organization and an interior bottle holder. The bag also sports an external side strap, a pig nose lashing point, 2 external lashing straps. And the bag comes in at $79.99 USD. And as always, we're going to start with the negatives so we can end on a positive note. And we're going to start with the outside of the bag, and we're going to start with the straps right here. You'll notice the buckle here has got a nice shine and it's a bit reflective, and that's because the female side, the receiving side, it's actually metal, and it's got a nice, I like the coating, it's like a black mirrored finish. It's really, really nice. But the male side, it's just, it feels plastic. It doesn't even feel like it's nylon. So I think this could be a little bit more robust. I mean, this bag, you're not probably going to be using these straps a ton, but I would still like to see this a little more robust because I think this is going to break down over time. Now, they're both metal because that would probably drive the cost up, and that would probably be a lot louder. And sticking with the outside of the bag, we're going to move on to the shoulder straps. And as I had stated in my unboxing and first impressions video, the material they use, the foam inside, is pretty thin. And right here where it would bend over your shoulder, it creased just a little bit, and you could definitely feel it, I won't say broke down, but it definitely kind of, there's a noticeable crease where it feels thinner right here in the material. Now you can see the straps are, they're pretty pliable and flexible, but the foam inside is pretty thin. You can kind of, you hear it crunching, and you can feel the divot that it's making. It doesn't kind of bounce back like it should. It's not a thick foam. And that's about it for the outside of the bag because, well, I mean, it's a very simple design, so there's not a whole lot going on in the bag. So we're going to go ahead and open her up, and we're going to go ahead and start with the inside of the bag. Now, as you can see, there is a laptop sleeve inside the bag. It is padded and it is floating. It comes to, let's say, right about here, which doesn't give you a ton more space before the bottom of the bag, but when you put a laptop in there, there's too much material on the front of the bag. It extends out, it's a little floppy. So when you put a laptop in it, there's actually enough give in the sleeve where it leans forward. It just rests directly on the bottom of the bag, and there isn't any padding. There isn't a lot of padding on the bottom of the bag, so you're actually setting your laptop pretty much on the ground with the sleeve. Now, in the Level 8 Atlas backpack, they have the best padded laptop sleeve I think I've ever seen in a bag, and this one is not nearly as padded as that. But if the laptop sleeve inside this bag was as padded as the laptop sleeve in the Atlas, you take up a whole lot more space internally in the bag. So yes, they had to make the padding a little bit thinner, but they could have done a better job at securing it to the back of the bag so it didn't sag. Now, the last negative of this bag is the actual size of this bag. Level 8 calls this a 20-liter bag, but honestly, I feel like it's more like a 16-liter bag. It's probably more the design. It is a top-down loader, so you only have entry from the very top of the bag, and it's very thin and narrow. So I mean, if you measured it cubic inches wise, I'm sure it does measure out to be 20 liters, but add the laptop sleeve on the inside, it definitely takes up some space in there. But the bag itself, I think it's just the shape of it. It doesn't allow you to fully load it out in a 20-liter, like a 20-liter bag would. So I could still carry my full EDC in here, but it's not nearly as organized because I kind of you have to layer things from the bottom up. So if there was something I needed at the bottom, I couldn't quite get it. And then when I put my laptop in there, I definitely had to take some stuff out to get the laptop and the tech pouch in there, because then I was taking up way too much internal space. And with the bottle holder being on the inside, I definitely would not have been able to fit like my tech pouch, because that's the thickest pouch I have in there with everything else, because the bottle would have just taken up way too much space in the inside the bag. So that's it. I mean, there's not a lot going on. It's a very simple bag, so there's not a lot to tear apart into it, because there's not a lot to it. So we're gonna go ahead and start with the neutral points of the bag. Now, first off, one thing that I would really like to see was there be a pocket right up here. There's actually, the lid is recessed. It goes up maybe a little over an inch, so they could have easily put a mesh pocket in here, and that would have let you put just light things, because you don't want too much anything heavy, because it would have bounced down on your laptop. But I could stick light things like a snack or something in there. I could have thrown like a pair of gloves, an extra mask. Like this day and age, you need masks. I always carry extra masks on me. Something light I could have thrown right in the top for a quick access, just a quick zipper mesh pocket. That would have really helped to utilize the space here, and it would have added a little something extra to the bag. Now, I did note that there is a bottle holder inside the bag, and it does run along the left side of the bag, and it's deep enough to fit a water bottle, as you can see here. But I personally don't like to put my water bottles inside the bag for two reasons. I think it takes up some of the space inside the bag. That's why I like external water bottle pockets. But also, if I do have my computer in here, I don't want liquids next to my electronics. That's me. I mean, if you have a nice double wall insulated bottle, it's not going to sweat, it's not going to leak. But if you just go buy a bottle of water at a bodega or a grocery store or a corner store, and then you throw it in there and it's hot outside, that bottle of water is going to sweat. That's going to put condensation inside your bag, potentially on your laptop, on your tablet, in your tech pouch, your battery bank, stuff that you don't want getting wet. So personally, I like to see the water bottle pocket on the outside, and I like to see something with a stretch pocket so it doesn't push the bottle into the bag. But it's a neutral point, because I know a lot of people do prefer to put their water bottles inside the bag. So if you're going to do that, just use a nice double wall insulated water bottle, and you really won't have any issues with sweating. Always make sure the lid of your water bottle is nice and tight. Otherwise, you're just going to have a disaster inside your bag. Now into the positives. And starting with the outside of the bag, the first positive is this pig nose right here. I really like it. I like these pig noses, and if you don't know what it is, it's actually just, it's a lashing point. It will allow you, if I can get my finger through, it allows you to attach things to the bag from the outside. These actually come from like older mountaineering backpacks. You usually see, like, it used to be like a brown leather piece. Sometimes it's like a diamond, or just like this, like a square. Now it allowed them to put their branding on the bag, which is kind of nice, but it's not just for the branding. It allows you an extra attachment point, and a lot of people use these for like shoes, because if you're going to the gym or something, you want to just, you tie your shoelaces through there, and then your dirty stinky gym shoes aren't inside your bag. You can let them dangle on the outside. Now a bag like this, it is probably more there for the aesthetics and to put the branding on there, but it is actually a functional piece of the pack, and I like that. I really like these little pig noses. I like when these are incorporated into bags. Think of that tactical, all that molly webbing. This is like pre-molly webbing, I guess, for mountaineering and for backpacking. This would be your external attachment point for anything like that. A lot of people like hang a carabiner through there so they can just clip things on and off. But I really like having the pig nose on there. I personally haven't used it with this bag as my EDC setup, but I like having it there. I like the option of just having an extra attachment point for something. Now I love these pockets. I love these flat pockets on the front. They're great for things like a journal. You can just slide it on in there, zip up your bag, and it lays in there pretty perfect. And the biggest positive of this bag, which I was actually very worried about, was because there is this front pocket, and the internal organization of the bag is also right here across the front of the bag. I thought it would create a bottleneck getting things in and out of the bag, but because this pocket on front is kind of like a lay flat pocket, you don't really stuff this thing or overstuff this thing, so you're not going to go ahead and create that bottleneck. So even when there are things inside these pouches, there's still not a bottleneck. I can easily access the bag. And that was something I was very worried about with this pack, because with the Gossamer Gear Vagabond Jet, there are two pockets up top, one on the outside, one on the inside, that you can stuff things in, and that created a bottleneck because it's the same kind of top-down loader style bag, and that created a big bulky spot right here. But that was because there was one zipper dump pocket on the outside and one zipper pocket that was more like a dump pocket on the inside, almost the same spot. So if you had things in both of those, it created this kind of like bubble, this mass of the bag, and then that created this bottleneck where you couldn't really get into the bag or access the bag super easy because there was like a blockage here. But because this is a flat pocket for things like a journal, you're not going to really overstuff this, so you did not create that bottleneck. So you could still completely access the bag without having that bottleneck issue. So that was one thing I was very happy with. And another thing, while we have the lid open, as you can see, this lid, it flips all the way back, which is great because now you could see directly into the bag. I hate when a lid doesn't flip back all the way. It'll kind of stop. Sometimes they stop about midway, and then you have to use two hands. If you want two hands to kind of rummage through the bag, you're gonna have to use one of your hands to hold back the lid or kind of try to tuck it behind your body so you can use your two hands. But this lid actually flops all the way back, so you can actually still fully see and access the bag, which is, it's nice. It's very nice when you can actually use both hands to dig inside your bag when you need to, especially when it's a black hole like that, because it's not a high-vis interior. That's really about it for the positives and negatives. Again, it's a pretty simple bag. There's not much going on. I mean, all the zippers all work as they should. The buckles all work as they should. The straps should be and could be a little bit thicker or better foam. The bag wears okay on the body. As you can see here, I'm 5'9" and right now about 175 pounds. I've EDC'd this bag for a couple of weeks. It held up pretty good. It doesn't really show too much signs of wear, if any. I mean, there's just a couple pieces of fuzz on here. It's I have a dog and a cat, and it's not a animal hair magnet. You can see there's not much animal hair on here. There's probably more, a couple little pink fuzzies, which are from my daughter's little fuzzy mittens, and that's on everything I own. Those little fuzzes get on everything and they stay. But honestly, I'm looking it over and I don't see any animal hair, and I got a white dog, so you would definitely see white hair on this. But so that, I guess that's a positive. It's not a dog hair magnet, because I'm not seeing any of the dog hair on here. But who is this bag for? I'd say the best fit for this bag is someone that's a daily commuter by car, because the shoulder straps, they're not super thick, so I would not want to be stuck standing on the train with this bag on my back, on my shoulders for like an hour or more. The side grab handle is kind of good for passing back and forth across to the car, the passenger seat, or picking it up off the back seat of the car. So yeah, I'm not gonna recommend this for you urban commuters, actually, because I don't think the straps are gonna hold up to, definitely not gonna hold up to time, and I don't think they're gonna hold up for comfort wise for you for an extended period of using mass transit, the bus, the train, anything like that. If you're commuting by like a commuter train where you can sit down and set this bag next to you, then you're probably gonna have some better luck. But if you're commuting in a big city and you're taking the subway And I mean, I don't live in a city, but I've spent plenty of time in New York and Philly and a lot of time on the subway. And when you're just trying to go to point A to point B, it's not always quick, especially if you're at peak travel times. So sometimes you're spending a lot of time on the train. And New York is a much bigger city than Philly, and if you have to change trains once or twice to get to where you're going, this thing's going to be on your back for quite some time. So I'd recommend that you use something with a little bit thicker, better padded shoulder straps. Overall, do I like the bag? I mean, it's an okay bag. At $80, I think that might be a little high, and I think that's actually the sale price. I think it used to be like $100, $120. But if you could pick one of these up for like 30 to 50 bucks, like used, or if they do like a blowout sale, it's worth a shot. I mean, it's not a bad bag. I like the look, I like the aesthetic of the bag, I like the color. I mean, it's not a terrible bag, it's an okay bag. But I definitely would not use this if I'm gonna carry a very large load. And if you do have your laptop in it, that laptop sleeve, again, it could be a little bit more padded without taking up a ton of internal space, but just be cognizant. I mean, because not just with this bag, because the laptop sleeve falls forward and your laptop's essentially on the bottom of the bag, but with any bag that you're carrying a laptop, good padded sleeve, good suspended sleeve or not, just be cognizant that the laptop's in there, and set it down gently. I mean, that's what I do. I personally always set my bag down gently when I know there's a laptop in there, because even if the sleeve is nicely padded or nicely suspended, there's potentially something inside the bag that if I just kind of put it down, something inside could shift and hit my computer inside the bag and damage my computer. So just be cognizant of your bag and your laptop, and just be gentle with it. I mean, it's the laptop's probably quite expensive, or your tablet. I mean, these things, they're not cheap, so we want to keep them around and make them last. So all in all, final summation, do I like the bag? Again, it's okay. It's an alright bag. I mean, this is the first Level 8 product that I haven't like really been excited about. I was, but until I used it, I find that it's okay. I find it's an okay bag. Again, if you can find one used for a reasonable price, I think it'll be an alright buy. For like 30 to 50 bucks, it's not a big investment in a bag. You can check it out. And if you don't like it, pass it along. Just resell it, or you hand it off to someone else. That's what I often do. Sometimes when I'm done with these reviews, like I give some of these bags away. Sometimes I like them and they sit in the closet for a while and they get reused. Sometimes I just give them to other people. Even if I buy them with my own money after a while. Sometimes if I'm not using them, I'll hand them off to someone else that can. So all in all, it's an okay bag. I like the colorway. If you get one for a reasonable price, go ahead and jump on it. So I think that's a good place to leave it off. If you like this video or any of the videos, don't forget to like, comment, share, and subscribe. Smash that big red button and ring that bell right next to it so you get notifications next time I post a brand new video. Good night.